to some degree than what others are doing, and we'll strive to avoid some of the pitfalls or directions that the others are going in, because the others, from what I've seen, do not strive for truth.
What do they strive for?
They strive for, well, they strive to give an answer, but they are, I think, trained to be politically correct. And the woke mind virus is woven in throughout them.
Yeah?
I'm sure you've seen that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You know, my students used to ask me because I've been teaching what I've been teaching for about 40 years, and one of the questions they used to ask me is how I knew that what I was teaching wasn't just another ideology, right? Because the postmodern take is, well, all it is a plethora of power games, and so there's no rank ordering approaches to the truth in terms of their ethical suitability, but that's not the game that you're playing. And
right, and obviously would not agree with that philosophy.
Why not?
The sort of moral relativism.
What's convinced you that that's not a useful way of approaching things?
Well, I think you can look at a given belief system and critique it as being likely to enhance or decrease enlightenment. Will any given belief system improve our understanding of the universe? Will we learn more things? Will we achieve a deeper understanding of physics? And
right, so that's grounded at least in part in a scientific framework, from the sounds of it.
Well, I think there are facts about the world.
Yes, right.
There are things that are, let's say, extremely likely to be true versus less likely to be true.
Yeah.
I think if one thinks in terms of probabilities about any given sort of axiomatic statement, then that's the right way to think about it. Now, some things are, 99.99% to be true. You can run experiments, you can confirm them, and others perhaps have a low probability of truth, 1% likely to be true, or just using extremes here. But any given statement has, I think, should be thought of as having unless it's a tautology, it should be thought of as having a probability of being true or untrue, or a probability of being relevant to an argument or not relevant to an argument. We're just talking about the basics of cogency here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. So let me put a twist on that too. So one of the things that really struck me about your public pronouncements in recent years was your insistence that we're in a natal crisis and that's actually a problem.
Well, that's factually true.
Well, it depends on whether you think that the planet would be better off if it was depopulated. Right? That's the Paul Ehrlich's line.
Yeah, Paul Ehrlich is a genocidal maniac, as far as I'm concerned, and I think he's a terrible human being.
Yes, and he's never admitted that he was wrong, and he was unbelievably wrong. He made a famous bet. The bet.
I hate Paul Ehrlich. I just want to be clear about that. I think he's terrible, and his books have done great damage to humanity.
So what? Okay, fine. I talked to a philosopher a while back who was an anti-natalist, trying to get my finger on that. There was a recent research article published on this too. Anti-natalists are much more likely to show dark tetrad